Well, good evening, wherever you might be watching across Australia on the NRL Pathways YouTube channel, and welcome to TRL Stadium for the Tru-Flow Services Premiership Round 14. We're opening up Round 14 with a cracking match between the Palmerston Raiders and the Northern Sharks. I'm David McRae. I'm going to be your one bringing your tones this afternoon or this evening in another big clash, double-header clash. First up here, the Tru-Flow, and then we're heading down to WA for the Westpac Women's Premiership, which will be the Roosters and the Giants. But looking forward to a good opening game here. We're slightly behind as the teams come out. The Raiders taking to the park as we speak. The Raiders in their beautiful purple and green strip. The Sharks, of course, went down on the weekend, and what was probably somewhat of a preview of the potential grand final. They went down to the unstoppable Brothers in what was a pretty entertaining game. Pretty close game. And the Sharks still sit in second spot on the table. Just waiting for him to come out onto the park now. There's the Sharks make their way out onto the park now. We've got on the ground, as usual, our good friend from Weekend Be Heroes, Saturday afternoon, best sports talk show you could ever think of. Axel Deathmore is on the ground, and he'll be bringing us all the insights from ground level. Feel free to chime in whenever you want, Ax, as we see the two teams coming together, shaking hands. Beautiful, beautiful evening in the top end, as it normally is.
Yeah, you're not wrong, Dave McCrane. Good evening to you and good evening to our viewers and listeners. It is a beautiful evening here in the top end. A little bit humid, DM, 39 degrees, but I'm looking forward to this game tonight.
Yeah, it should be an absolute cracker, mate. I tell you, no better place to be this time of year than in Darwin and at TRL Stadium for some rugby league. So, as I mentioned, Northern Sharks sitting in second spot. It's the Brothers that have taken away. They will win the minor premiership. The Raiders in fourth, still looking to put some pressure on the Bears in third. And this should be a cracking game. As the siren sounds, we're underway, just waiting for the tee. And we're underway. It'll be the Raiders with first use of the ball. First carry, it's going to run straight up the guts. Slow play the ball, out to the right. Stands in the tackle, lifts the leg, eventually brought down. On second. Out to the middle of the park now, had to take that from behind her, managed to do well. Had a runner on the right, ignores that, goes straight to the left. Strong contact. On fourth. Again, off to that far edge, they like that. Thought about going, now it does. Just telegraphed that a little bit too much. Line speed was good. And on fifth, they've completed the set. He'll come the kick. Put to some vacant space, allowed to bounce. And first return for the Sharks. Ducks to a right. It's Heo. Off to the effervescent Jamie Park, who likes to have a run. Not this time though. Brought down on second, just past halfway. Sharks have got some really good line speed here. Hits it hard. Passes it right back, just holds it up. That one was asking a little bit too much. And Sky Cash couldn't get to it, and it'll be turned over on the 40. First scrum down of the evening. This is off to her left. Thought about going again. Finds half a gap. Good run on the first. Slow from the play of the ball. She wants to have a run. Just a bit apprehensive in the contact. Don't have a 19 on the team sheet. No, we do, sorry, Bagard. Barragood, my apologies. Through two sets of hands now. Going to spread this wide to the edge. Just holds it up. just telegraphed that a bit, and she's lost the handle on that. Not sure what that was all about. And visually, she's dragged out, and that's pretty tough to do that to Jamie Park. And what was a pretty shocking-looking set of passes, that one's forward. I think that's why she's left it. The 2 5s came together. And Hazel drags Park out. And they'll come back for the knock-on, I think. So second scrum down. Second in as many minutes. And this time it is the Sharks. Holds that ball up, goes inside, outside. Good first carry. Sharks want to go quickly. Had a number of options there. Just again, tentative with the contact. Past the 30. Inside now. Off a standing start. Thought about going to her left again. Stands in the tackle. Had the arm free. They're still going. Referee didn't say held. Thought she saw half a gap there. Past the 30 now. Inside. Had to rise above herself to take that. Second carry in the set. Grace Bailey. Again, they want to quick ball movement. Holds it up, kicks early, over the top. Where's the chase? It will go dead. Was it touch? No, it'll come back to the 25. Or the 10, sorry, for the restart. Beautiful day in the top end, as it normally is. Beautiful evening. First 3 games coming at you today. If you're in the NT, and of course the doubleheader, Friday night footy, women's footy at its best here in NRL Pathways. First tackle there, just takes it in the middle of the park, just from a standing start. Older Viet goes for run from dummy half. Slow play the ball, again from dummy half. Marker was a bit lax, you saw something. Half an option, Hazel. Again, slow play the ball, not a lot of line speed and attack from the Raiders. That's suiting him fine. Sky King with her first carry. Again, good line speed defensively from the Sharks, and that allowed half a gap. That's a good carry on the 4th. Inside again. They're going to kick early, are they? Pretty sure we had our tackle count right. It's going to find the fullback pretty easily. Almost lifted, driven, thrown on her back. She's almost jumped into that contact. That was Vicky Alley, captain for the Raiders, still there. Giving nothing to the Sharks at the moment from dummy half. She wants to run, ducks inside, found half a gap, still going, dragged down, and that's the 3rd tackle in the set for Allen, the skipper for the Raiders. Hands in the air. Sky Cash, you wanted something. I didn't see what it was. Gone past halfway now. On the 4th. Spins it in the middle of the park. Holds it up. Just does enough, but good coverage defensively on last for the Raiders. Dummy half wants to go to her right. They've got numbers there, just holds it up. Bit of a dinky kick. They should clear this pretty easily. Just holds it up, waits for the tackle. Driven. Did well in the end. It was 3-4 of them in the tackle. She managed to hold her ground pretty well. Wanted to go for a run from dummy half. Marker wasn't straight. In the end, what could have been a bad decision ends up pretty well. Down the far edge, just holding it up, treading a bit of water at the moment. Ringelstein, the number 2. Well, that's a great name. Drops the pill. Referee says play on, and that'll be 0. Sky Cash holds it up. Thought she saw half a gap. She had a runner on her right in Maddie Patrick. Takes the contact past the 30 on first. inside. Don't have a name for the number 9 in dummy half. If you know, jump online, let us know. That's half a gap there. And a good carry from Harley. Still going. Had the arm free. They should score here first. Tries to bash through. The strength will... No, she'll be held up. Great defensive effort. Driven back. I thought she was going to score for all money, Spicer. In the end, great coverage. That goes... I don't think it went where it was supposed to go. And they've gone backwards. Spins it out. This will be the first try from Sky Cash. So it took them an extra couple of tackles, but in the end they get over for first points inside the first 10. Axel, what have you got from us at the ground, mate?
Yeah, Dave, it certainly looks to be like this will be a slow start, I feel, for the scoring. We've seen the Sharks put it down for the first time for the 4 points and set up for the kick. I've actually sent off a message to our good friend Michaela McDonald, who works behind the scenes down here, to find out who our number 9 Sharky is. So hopefully we'll bring a name to the broadcast very soon. But look, I feel like the Raiders are really defending well, and they know what they need to do to set it up. And again, the Sharks know we're going into the finals time now. We're starting to get into the time of the year where it's crunch time for our teams, and I really feel like both of those agendas are on these teams. The captains have spoken to the ladies before going into the game. They know what needs to be done, and it's just a matter of going out and getting the job done.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good call, Axel. I thought it's quite a slow start, a bit tentative from both sides. Of course, it is the first game on a Friday night. The athletes coming in from a week of work. Might take them a while to get into the groove of it. That was never likely, so the score will remain 4 apiece.
Yeah, you're certainly right, David. The players coming off unlike we see in the National League where the players will have that opportunity to train and prepare all week going into that game. 99% of the players here at this level would be coming off a full day at work, and sometimes that can have its own set of challenges. To work all day and then come and to hit the paddock, it can be quite tough. Absolutely.
Even as a coach, I can tell you it's tough, Ax. I'm about to go and do some of that action Friday night footy myself. And even as a coach, that's tough after you work a full day and a full week. But it's what we do.
D Gun, Dave, is the number 9 Shark.
Gun. All right, there you go. So we've got a name.
D Gun. It's D Gun. We can say
gun.
that. The Gun.
I'm going to have to use that. I'm going to have to use
that.
Hopefully she scores and I can roll it out.
We had a bit of rain up here as well today and yesterday, Dave. We had a bit of rain, which is very unusual for this time of year.
Well, you must have stole our rain, because we had several weeks of complete wet. We've had a couple of days of no rain, which is pretty good. But tomorrow, the end of days is coming. We're going to get 35 mil. So first tackle on return for the Sharks. First set after points. Again, tentative, not keen on running too hard at present. Spicer with her first run almost gets taken out by the marker was dummy half. Humes with her first run in the set on the third. Sky Cash again appealing to the referee. And what have we seen here? Was that offside? I'm not sure. There we go. So a bit of play on. So the Sharkies were asking for some attention with Muck and the Ruck, and in the end, they're the ones that have given it away. So a penalty. And a scrum feed for the Raiders. So the Sharkies couldn't complete after points. Always a coach killer, those ones. Ball's out. Goes inside out. Well marked though. Full back. Well, I think she's playing in the centres. Jiminy, the one. I like that far edge. Shows the ball. I'm not entirely sure what she was doing there. She showed it a long time. And in the end, she was wrapped up. Brooking Bettelor. Again, they like that far edge. 3 sets of hands now. Now to that real far edge. She found half a gap. She'll do well to stay in. She did very well to stay in. She had to ride that line, and that was a good run. They had real slow ball movement here. Now they want to just go some batch and crash. On the 4th. Slow to her feet. Not a lot of urgency at the moment. That's fine. Raiders just want to get up. Get up the park. Her second round of the set. On 5th. Good position here. Watch for the kick. Runner on her right was... Oh, here's the fullback, or the centre, I should say again. I don't think she knows it's 5th. Maybe we had our tackle count wrong. Now, no, it was 5th. We are correct. And I don't think she knew. And the ball is turned over. And we've got an offside penalty. Sky Cash, the try scorer, her run. What's it? Go for run herself. There's a fullback in here. She's excited to watch. Pretty quick. A lot of quick ball players in this Sharkies side. Lies all over it. Takes forever to get up. The referee allows it to happen. Looks like she's going to have a nap there. Is that Cash again? Her second round of the set. And spending a lot of time. No, that was Patrick. Patrick. Sung. Past halfway now in the 4th. Almost kicked the stuffing out of that and to play the ball. Driven, thrown backwards. She's lost the ball. It's turned over. Great tackle. Brooking Petalor, and she has won her side a penalty. It's a knock on and a scrum down. She thought she saw half a gap. And she tackled the stuffing out of her. Here, get some of that grass, and the ball's come free. As the sun sets on TRL Stadium. Heading into finals.
Probably one of my favourite parts of coming here, Dave, is the sunset. I must just add that in there.
Mate, it is a beautiful place to around that time of day too. Crashes that one past halfway. It's not much up in the top end that isn't nice, to be honest. The rugby league's pretty good too. She thought about going to her left there. Takes the contact. Nikki Allen has been good thus far. From dummy half, wants to go for a run. She went for a run in the first. That was on 5th though. This time she's got an extra couple of tackles. Yimidi in the centre, the number 1, dishes off to her right. They've got numbers here on the right, goes again, just takes the contact. Sky Cash tries to push her in the next week. In the end, she's gone backwards a bit. Good tackle on the last. Where are they going to go? To the right, went past the receiver, manages to come back and collect it. This is on 5th and last, and that'll be turned over. So loose pass there. Raiders have been able to complete their set, but they haven't really tested the defensive line too badly for the Sharks. They haven't really been too potent, and they haven't really had much on inside the 20. Sharks now, they want to go for it. My favourite, Maddie Patrick with a run. She's quick. Slow, play the ball. Raiders managed to slow that down. She motioned to her right, did Hio. In the end, given some punishing treatment into the middle now. Gun. She wants to roll. Almost just slightly lost her feet there and lost direction in the end. She had to take the tackle. Spins it past. She saw half a gap. She does see half a gap. Still going. Thought about offloading. No one at dummy half. Gunn comes into offload. On 5th now. They're going to spread this wide. They've got numbers on that far edge if they want to go. Just holds it up. Kicks it in between. Was that played at? Doesn't matter. Can she stay in? She can. So they had numbers. She tried to kick it between the legs, and in the end, the Raiders do okay and hold that one up. Dummy half wants to go for a run again. The marker grabs up. She's done it a few times now. 18 minutes. 4 points on the board. Probably expecting a few more points in this one at this point. Straight from dummy half. She wants to go for a run again. Doyle, who I believe is playing in the fullback, the number 8. Again, second round the set from dummy half. Hazel. This time doesn't work because Jamie Park says, not on my watch. Throws it back. So great defensive set from the Sharks. Kept them well inside their own end. Down the throat, however, of the fullback in is Hio. She wants to go for a run. Gets through the first. Second and third bring her down on the 30. Good position now on the first for the Sharkies. Slow play the ball. Ignores Cash. It goes down the back. They're going to have to clean it up. Patrick will have to reload. Gets to the point of the play the ball. In fact, lost ground there on the second. Slow. Shows the ball. Wrapped up by the skipper, Vicky Allen, in the end, 29. Don't have a number. Came in to clean that up. Thought about going to that left edge. Grace Bailey. She's had a few runs already. Like to know her meters gained. Shows the ball up. Here's Hio. Just showed it too much. She's wrapped up by her number, Jiminy. They've got some numbers on the left edge. She's going to run straight at the contact. It just showed it to her right. It was just enough to put them on. And Sang goes over to score their second inside the first 20.
And another great show of performance there. Great communication from our Sharkies here tonight, Dave. And that's where we've seen the try come from again. It's just they set it up well. They communicate well. Look, the Raiders are doing great out at defending that line, but I think they're just missing them crucial little things that are letting the Sharkies through. And one thing that I really want to point out, as I say, get out of Cam Hughes. Tune in into the live stream. You'll catch him with me tomorrow hosting WCBH, our morning sports breakfast show. He points out that Debbie Gimme in the number 1 jersey for the Raiders runs the ball holding the ball in both hands, so putting the opposition in two minds. Now, I'm looking forward to seeing that here tonight. I haven't picked that up myself, but our expert opinion, Cam Hughes, has picked that up from the live stream. So, Dave, I'm looking forward to seeing that tonight on the park.
He's an absolute expert, he is. Of course, tomorrow morning, make sure you tune in if you're up in the Darwin area. The best sports talk show in the top end of the territory. We just saw the replay there. Just hold that up. Sang held that well. She had a number on her right and just a little fade to her right. There's not much that Hazel could do. She was in two minds. She had to go to her left or cover it in. We see it on replay here again. She ran straight at that edge, and Hazel, so did what she needed to do. There was an overlap. You saw Jamie Park actually was the number there, and you know when you've got Jamie Park on your far edge, you know what she could do. So just held that really well. Managed to split those two open. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you're the winger, and Hazel.
And Jamie Park in the number 5 jersey tonight. 17 tries for the season so far, sitting second top try scorer for the Tru-Flow Services Premiership here in the top end.
Yeah, she hasn't had much to do at the moment, or up to this point, Axe. I'm surprised. Not many runs at this stage. Looks like she's playing on the wing. So, only had one or two carries.
I feel like they might be reserving her for something. Maybe they've got something tucked away, ready to execute. Maybe they're saving her legs.
Well, maybe. They don't need her at the moment, but she does like a carry from the 10, going all the way. So, this kick will see some grass collected at the back end. Dull, that's her first carry of the day. Goes straight into contact. Dakota Spicer in the 20. Playing at the prop. Shows the ball inside out. It's almost had her head taken off there. With the fullback in Hio. From dummy half, gun now. Showed it to her right. It's got to go for a run. It's Watson Compton, the skipper. Still going, still going. Jiminy has to clean that up. Into the middle now. 2 sets of hands, thinks. She's just calling out her players now. She's put her hand on that. That will be 0. And they're going to come back for the knock on. No. Too much muck in the ruck. So penalty. No. Knock on.
Yeah, we're just talking too, Dave. It's interesting. Jamie Park plays on the wing each week, so we were talking. I'm just chatting to Cam. Just would be great to see her with the ball more and you know, doing her what she does best with it.
Yeah, she I think the tries that I've seen her score, she scored an absolutely ball bust. I reckon the try of the year against the Bears a couple of weeks ago or a month ago, like on the right edge. She likes to play on the right wing. But last time we saw her, she scored a few from in the guts. One that she ran the entire length of the field. As you see here, good set.
Tough going, running.
Yeah, good carry.
Running the full length.
She likes to do that, and I actually called it out too. She took it on the kick, and I thought, watch out here, she could run half the length, and she showed me up because she ran the full length. Raiders do better here. In the centres, Jiminy, she ran with one hand there. She said do a bit of work in the centre. Number 1 for the Raiders. Stands in the tackle. Referee calls held. It's Brianna Ross. Straight from dummy half. Now shows it. Passes off. Dishes it to Brooking Petalo. Trying to slow this ruck down to the Sharks. Ignores the runner. Holds it up. Tries to spread it here. Comes the kick. Not a great kick. It will be cleaned up by that. Oh, well done. That was played at, and that's another 6. That was really done. She was damned if you do damage. She did it. Was Park. Park wants to make amends. Ducks through dummy half. She's going to do well to stay in. Now, what's the referee going to say? I couldn't see the flag. It was off. Here's the kick. Not a great kick, but in the end, Park coming at it. She had to play at that to control it, and because she played at it and the Sharks came in to clean it up, that was 6 again. What's the referee saying? It should be a Sharkies ball. It is. Almost struggled that. Had 2 bites of that. Runs straight into the guts. I'm sure Jamie Park's one of those players too that she would have thought, here I'm on, and had to just put her foot on that to just control it. And I bet you she's chomping at the bit now. She'll want a second bite of that now. Sharks had a hand free, going backwards. Still didn't make much there. Held now. The referee just wants to, oh, we've got to play it down. It's Thompson. Oh, a corky, I reckon. Yep, looks like a corky to me. Or an ankle. Well, she's holding a knee, so I hope it's not a knee. Three minutes and change until half-time of this one. See if, don't know if you get to head downstairs, Axe, for a half-time interview, but plenty of footy to come. So she's come off. It's Thompson. Made a change there, so they'll have to make a change in the second row, the Raiders, and got a penalty on first tackle. High. It's the first high tackle penalty today. Watson Compton with the tap. Slow to her feet and really slow. It's like she was on holidays, and that's another penalty. And the skipper is going to have a kick to find touch, and with 2 minutes and change left, this is a really good spot for the Sharkies to have another attack at the line before they head into the sheds. Crashes the line. Good first up tackle. Sticks it under the wing. It's Ralph. Throws it off. They've got numbers all over the shop here to the left. Holds it up. They wrapped up really well. That was a great tackle by Holderviet. Stopped what could have been a try. They've coming back into the centre now. She's in, I was going to say 2 minds. I think she was in 10 minds there. Didn't know where to go. In the end, read well. The Raiders are doing okay here. Straight in the middle of the park. They've probably wasted that tackle there on a settler. They've got one left in the bag. Can the Raiders hold them out? 60 seconds left. They've switched it up here. Numbers on the left. Inside, outside ball. Cash, can you get a second? Really well done for the Raiders. They've held the Sharks out. Probably a wasted set there for the Sharkies. And in no rush here. They've got 30-odd seconds before they go into the sheds. Doesn't want to be dragged out there. And has she lost that ball? Oh, she has too. Well, they've got to go quick because they've only got probably enough for 1 or 2 tackles at that. They've got to go right now. Of course, the Raiders are in no hurry to pack this scrum. They might even get it done. Siren will probably beat them. It will. And at half-time, the Siren relieves the Raiders. And they are going into the sheds 8 points down. So they've done well with the ball. Defensively, they've done okay. The Sharks had to work for both of their tries, but offensively, they haven't really shown much, the Raiders. When they've had the ball down the Sharks' end, they haven't really been that dangerous. In fact, I don't think they've gone past the 10 with any real certainty. As both sides are going to come in. Of course, the first of 2 games tonight. Stay tuned for the Westpac Women's Premiership here in Western Australia. I think I just saw Jamie Park running into the sheds. I hope she's okay. But first of doubleheader. Westpac Women's Premiership coming up after this. There's the Joondalup Giants taking on the Freo Roosters. The defending Premier, which of course they won't be featuring in finals. The Roosters still trying to do their best to get into second spot. We're going to take a quick break. And don't go anywhere because we'll be back for the second 30 very shortly. Welcome back to TRL Stadium, second half, Tru-Flow Premiership. If you've just joined us, it is the Raiders trailing this one. 8 points to the Sharks, 0 to the Sharks. 8, 2 first half tries. Raiders currently sitting in 4th, the Sharks in 2nd. That's where they'll stay after losing the top of the table clash last week. That one has gone forwards. Made it I absolutely went forward. I am 2,000 Ks away and I can tell you that was forward. So, and that is a really, really good spot for the Raiders to start the second half. So 2 half.
Yeah, Dave, back up here on the balcony.
Off you go, Axe. No, it's all good. We'll go back to play. Actually, chime in when you need to. First carry now. The first half tries, 1 to Sky Cash and 1 to, I believe, Talia Hazel, who was the second try. The Raiders now trying to put some pressure on offensively on the Sharks. This is the first spot they've really had the ball with any real meaningful attacking prowess. Crashes the line, still going, stands in the tackle, eventually brought down. Brooking Pedalo into the middle now. Just a settler. They're probably not as close to the post as they like. 2 in the bag. They're driven backwards a bit. Sharks doing enough to keep them out. They haven't really had much. Oh, they've gone wide, and that's played at. That's come down, and that'll be 0 tackle. So they'll have a reset. Not held. Jamie Park comes in just to remind them. Now she's held. That'll be 0. Almost lost it. Had to juggle that into the bread basket. Brooking Pedalo. They're still going here. Just a settler here in the middle of the park, right in front of the sticks. Good place to be. Stands in the tackle. Referee says held. Roach in dummy half now. You've got to spin it to that far edge. Here's the number 1. Jalemi crashes through. Wrapped up well in the end. It was a 50-50 with Patrick. Really good position here on the second. Tries to duck over. They're going to hold her up though. No. Short. Did she lose that? I think she did. What is the referee going to say? Lost. A loose carry. So it actually ended up in the hand of the tackler. Have a look at this on replay. Did Welder, and then, yeah, loose carry, 100%. So it wasn't the tackler, actually just fell on the grass. So loose carry. Thought they were going to score there, but the Sharkies managed to keep a clean sheet still. Axel up at the top end, mate. You were going to say something.
Yeah, I spoke to the ladies on the sideline from the Raiders at the captain at half-time. She said, we know what needs to be done to get back onto the scoreboard. We just got to get it done. Just dig the boots in and go to work here tonight. So pretty much straight to the point, and that's what they're going to be working on in the second half.
I've got an injury here. Oh, just hard contact, I think. Having a look on the replay here. Wrapped around over the shoulder and just, well, I'm not actually sure what that was, to be honest, but she was sandwiched in between 2 tacklers. It's a bit of concern. Might have been winded, actually. I think it is. She's been she had the stuffing squeezed out of her, although that left leg does seem to be a bit sore. Looks something like a corky or a light because she's coming
added
off.
there as well, Dave.
Yeah, go ahead, Dax.
The solid Sharks defence. Yeah, solid Sharks defence. Look, this season only conceding 110 points, so it just highlights their defensive performance so far.
Yeah, they've been pretty good. They've been chasing the tail of the league leaders and the defending premiers, the Brothers. Of course, have only let in 52 points, which is just astounding. Scored 632. it is the Sharks that are sitting second, and they're second in those categories as well. But it's likely to be those two sides finish. Well, it will be those two sides finishing first and second, and if they can do the job in the finals, possibly we're possibly playing off in the decider. But yeah, it's the brothers have been the ones running away with it this year. Been unstoppable. Gun from dummy half, throws it back. Here comes the kick. First set for the Sharks completed after half-time. That's a horrible bounce. Managed to collect well. The line speed probably wasn't there from the Sharks. Running straight up the line to have a go was Linus. From dummy half. Marker had her upped up and sang. And that was some hard contact. Is it Hazel, I think, with the carry? Just to have some grass. Oh, that's, yes, shoulder. That's, you know, that's fine. That's just testing whether it can go in the other direction. So that would have been a stinger. Shoulders do sting. They're like ankles. So they're not designed to move that way, but she's actually holding a neck, which I'm not surprised because she tried to eat the grass as well. So
never a good place to take a tackle in the shoulder or knees.
No,
Dave.
No. Especially when she was.
Look, I've never played rugby league myself, but I've. Sorry, you go, Dave.
No, I was going to say it's especially when she's just coming off. I think she might just have a check. Yeah, she's just motioning her head, so her chin has actually hit the ground. So technically that is a HIA, or it is a head knock, but she had the ball in her right arm and the left arm wrapped up in the tackle, so she had no way to protect herself as she came chest first into the ground and kept her chin up because she didn't want the taste of grass. Lifted up horizontal, referee will say.
Another decent tackle there.
Yeah, on her back, Jiminy. And that will be a penalty as the tip tackle, so reset of the count. And it sounds like, how's the hot dogs up in the TRL today? Axe, have you managed to partake in the hospitality already?
Yeah. Look, Dave, the hot dog sales have been going down in my absence from rugby league over the last couple of weeks. I've taken some personal leave. I walked in, they hit me up about the hot dogs. Look, I've hit a pretty strict diet for my marathon training, but I am going to be into the hot dogs tomorrow night here, of course, for our blockbuster 1v2 clash. Yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah, absolutely looking forward to that one. It should be a rib snorter. I'll tell you what, I could do with a hot dog right about now. Raiders back to the footy on the third. Just shows the ball. Not a lot in that in the end. Half decent run. They're past. They're on the 10 now. What can they do? Coming in the middle, looking for a settler. Fafotea. Oh, actually, I've completely butchered that name. I won't try that again. Ditches off to the right, holds the ball up. They've got numbers, but the spread's really good. This is on the 5th, and this is the second time that the number one. Is that number one? Yeah, Jiminy's had the ball in her hands, and she's been tackled on last. So it's taken 30 minutes for the Raiders to have any real decent ball play inside the 10. But they still really haven't tested the line. Sharks now. The ball's been down this end for a while.
Raiders haven't had many attacking opportunities, Dave. But, yeah, look, I was just saying, look, the Raiders haven't had too many attacking opportunities. But, look, I think they certainly look better when they go wider when they got that ball.
Yeah, I agree. They need to go wide and spread the ball, really test that. There's a bit of muck on the ruck there. That'll be a reset. Penalty there. They're certainly better when they go wide, but I've just noticed that I think their comms and their structure's a bit loose, especially on that far edge. So when they do go wide, they've got numbers there, but they're too compressed. So structure's a bit off at the moment. Sharkies, however, this is the first time, hopefully for them, they'll be able to get out of their own end in this second 30. In the guts, ducks one way, goes the other. There's Bailey. Shows the ball, did gun. She wants to run and gun. Goes through 1, 2, 3, 4. Drag down. Got a bit of contact there. 4 to take her down in the end. Bit of goings on. And just share. They want to share recipes for beef Wellington. I actually didn't think there was much in that from the Raiders' perspective. So drag down there. So that's the tackle on. Oh, we've got a send-off? No, we don't. We've got a penalty. Was a penalty. So penalty to the Raiders. I don't think there was much in that. Oh, where's that ball going to go? There's no chase. It didn't find touch. So unforgivable. How many times we say that? Runner can't get it, and then here comes the kick return to the 30. I think they did well to keep him at that point, to be honest. The Sharks now, they want to rebound. Holds the ball. What a big hit. Gunn was in the gun and got poleaxed. It wasn't Gunn, sorry. It was Jamie Park now with the run. Jamie wants to have a go. On the right edge. That was strong contact. Carrier there, Lloyd Phillips, off the interchange bench. So welcome to the park. Here, have some of that. Zhang. Dragged backwards. Oh, that's be a penalty and a half, that one. That was just silly. I think she thought that she wasn't held, and she's gone to just try and drag her feet and then realised, no, she was. And then she was all over the ball. That had to be a penalty. Jamie Park wants to go for a run. So here we go. So Raiders have done the Sharks a favour. Here's the tap. Sang. Straight line against strong, solid contact. Push down. Get some of that. Eat some of that grass. Have some more. Straight at the line. Back to that same spot. Linus. Into the middle. Second set of hands. Hacks a duck inside. It was read well by the defensive line. Bailey can't go anywhere. The Raiders have got 3 more. 2 more. Hold on. Lost the ball. So they have done well to hold them out. Be scrum down. So they've gone 12 and a half. Still no change to the halftime score. In the heat, Axel at the top end. The heat seems to have turned up just a little bit in their second half.
Yeah, well, 31 degrees ambient temperature here at TRL Stadium, but certainly turning up a lot more on the field, and I feel like the penalty count's getting up, so both teams will no doubt be getting addressed by the coaches to try and iron out those smaller issues that bring out the penalties. We don't want to see too many of those going into the closing moments of this game.
Yeah, I don't know if the referee saw that. It certainly looked like it from mine that there was a hair pull there. The carrier didn't seem to react, so maybe I was wrong. Raiders, good line speed from the Sharks. Read that really well, put the pressure on. Again, they seem to have turned the pressure up. Throws it wide and long, will be cleaned up in the back. She knocked that on, loose. And mistakes deep inside their defensive zone. The Raiders are giving the Sharks every opportunity to add more to their score. Mentioned earlier that Buller hadn't been down this end. They started well in the first. They started well in the second half. The first few 10 minutes or so had kept the ball down the Sharks' end, but all of a sudden they've been treading water down here for a while, courtesy of some loose carries and some penalties. Gunn wants to have a go, shows it off to Park. Covered well, breaks through one. Jamie Park, will she score? No, she won't. She'll be held up. Double movement. Or lost it. Referee was right there. I think the ball hit the grass. Referee was right there. So I'll come back to the 5. I think it was a knock on. It was a loose. So I think it's hit the ground there, yeah. So when she gets the ball in hand, you know, something's going to happen. So they've done well to curtail her today. She looks like she's playing frustrated, which is a win for the Raiders. It's getting heated in the contact and the rucks at the moment. Plenty of questions being asked of the referee and assistants. Out to the broadcast edge. Gunn in there. Marker. They want to have a run from dummy half. Another penalty. So the penalties are coming thick and fast now, as Axel pointed out. Discipline seems to have taken a back seat in this second. From the tap, wants to have a run. Stands, thrown down. Seems to be a bit more urgency now from the Raiders. She wants to have a run from dummy half as well. Dragged down. Creeps an extra 2 steps from the mark. Holds the ball up. Goes inside now. The runner on her right. Telegraphed that pretty well. Thompson plays the ball. Going to change at dummy half. Looks like it's Ross. Second run of the set now. Brookie Padalo. Still going. Stands as attacker. Eventually she's called held by the referee. Will come back to the marker. Yeah, there's been a change. So Ross at dummy half. I'll spread this wide. They should have gone again. She's come back inside. I'm not sure why. On last. Here's the kick. There's absolutely nothing on that. It's a shocking one. It's dragged, it's fallen backward. Sky Cash has collected it. I can't see her going the whole way. In the end, wrapped up well. So disappointing end of the set there for the Raiders. Not a great kick. Just holds the ball up here to the Sharkies. Straight into contact. Crunch. No change to the halftime score. We've got 13 and change to go in this one. Off a standing start. Now past halfway. After this one, we're going. That's Jamie Parks. She tries to crash her way through. Eventually she's crawling now, trying to get an extra few centimetres. Gunn from dummy half. The marker wasn't there. She's dragged her down. We're coming to, well, that'll be another penalty. So this is, if I was the Raiders coach, I'd be spitting chips on the sidelines, because every time the Sharks get the ball inside their own end, they're giving them an extra 6. So
yeah, certainly not what we want to see here, especially going this close into finals, Dave.
Yes, discipline's got to be key. That was a try-saving tackle there from the captain, from Allen. I've got that numbers on that far edge, spreads that wide. They should score here. They'll score easily.
And straight through there, yeah. Dave, they really just left it open for them. There was really... Yeah. The only way you could put that from where I am up here on the broadcast deck is they left it open. They left the wing open. They've gone through and scored. I just having thought the Sharks would have scored more in the closing parts of the second half now, and we've seen that as well now with that try.
Yeah, Ringelstein, love that name, goes over untouched, and again courtesy of a Raiders penalty. So they did have the ball. They were moving him, and then they've given up another penalty and given the Sharkies several bites of the cherry. And in the end, you can't give a team like the Northern Sharks too many options and too many opportunities, because eventually they will take it. Pushes it out.
Absolutely. And Dave, a message from the the operations side here at NRL&T on behalf of those guys. The Gatley Shield game has been forfeited by the Northern Sharks, so the Palmerston Raiders will go away with 20 points from that one, but the Northern Sharks won't be making an appearance tonight for the Gatley Shield, unfortunately, for our Friday night B-grade clash. So that game is a forfeit on the Field 1, and no games are going to be moved over, so Field 1 will have no play until the A-grade game later on tonight.
Well, that's a bit disappointing for all the fans that have turned up at TRL, although it's a really, really good opportunity to just enjoy the hospitality. So hopefully they sit out the hot dogs. Grab yourself a sherbet, before the Premiership game gets underway.
Might be an opportunity, Dave, if I can get a hot dog after this game here, and then I'll have time to run around the park and burn it off before we get into the A-grade game tonight.
Well, I tell you what, probably a good opportunity. I don't know, for everyone at the stadium to log on to NRL Pathways and just enjoy the rugby league in the West while they wait for the Dabsco Premiership game to get underway. So after this one, we've got 9 minutes and change. We're heading down south, and the fantastic cool team of Donnie Bell and Nick Neary will be taking you on the journey for that one, as the Freo Roosters still... Oh, that's gone out. Did that bounce? It did too. She's left that go. She's let it go. She thought it might have gone... out on the full, but in the end, she's just misread that. And that'll be a Raiders ball. If they're going to make a challenge, and they need to do it right now, they've got 10 or less than 10.
Great opportunity, Dave, here for them to make meters and to find that try line.
She wants to have a run from dummy half into the 10, sorry. Want to quick play the ball. In the middle of the guts. Tries to crash through. Defensive line does their job. Holds it up. She just takes that with one arm. One wing hanging out. That's all she needed. That's Mate. What a name. I hope it's pronounced Mate because it sounds awesome. Oh, she just, I don't know whether she fumbled that ball. She's held up. So she'll come back to the 5. There's some fantastic names in this Raiders outfit. King. We've mentioned Mate. Ringlestein. Sounds awesome. On last now, Raiders, what can they do? They need a better kick than last time. Here it comes. No, that's not a great kick, and it should be cleaned up at the back. Referee almost gets in the way. She does well and better. Crunching tackle. Maddie Patrick made to earn it. Wasn't a huge amount of line speed. And half a gap, more than half a gap. She opens it up. Can she go all the way? She can. It's the number 4.
Have a look at the legs.
Just throws it inside to Jamie Park, who was looking to clean it up. And it was read well. It was a bit too much asked of her. Doyle will clean that up, the fullback for the Raiders. I'll tell you what, if that hit...
Dave, turn up the heat here at TRL.
If that hit Jamie Park, it would have gone in. That'd be the first game I've called for the Sharks, where Jamie Park hasn't scored. We still got 7 minutes and change to go, though. Slow play the ball now. That was, yeah, we see on the replay here. Sang, and she's just 3 pumps, and in the end, Parks has overrun it. Can the Raiders put some points on? Crashes into contact. That's Mate again. I love that name. That's awesome. Shows the ball. That's a good run. Jiminy. And again, I think that's the 3rd time in this game she has been tackled on last. So she's doing plenty of work. I'm assuming she knows it's 5th and last. You wouldn't do that 3 times. She just needs some support. Here's a good return, still going. Humes with a good carry on first. Park now, she wants a run. She's been really well curtailed in this game. The Raiders have done well to shut her down. That wasn't Park, sorry. I'm getting too excited. That was Ralph, Lillian Ralph, the 12 for the Sharks. Bit of change at dummy half. Thought about going left. Ducks in back to the right. Tackled well in the end. They made some changes, have the Sharks. Felt that contact there. Slow to her feet. Standing start. Crashes the line. Tries to just bash through. Dakota Spicer. On last. Here comes the kick. Shows the ball. Watson Compton, the skipper. That's a good kick. They'll have to go dead here. The ball is grounded. So it will be a goal line. Four minutes change. So it looks like the Sharks probably will take this out. Just a matter of by how much. Will be their 12th win of the season, and the Raiders, they'll remain in 4th spot, with the Bears having an opportunity to put some space between them and the Raiders tomorrow when they take on the Brothers. Although you'd have to suggest that the Brothers have been unstoppable thus far. You'd have to suggest they would start pretty warm favourites. Here we go, the Sharks. She wants to have a go. She's been handy today, Grace Bailey. Inside. 2-3 Mines. Don't have a name for the 21. Here's the kick that was played at. It's come off the post. And been grounded, so another goal line. We're in no hurry here, the Raiders. Just go straight down the guts. Oh, she's done it. Okay. Really no idea what's going on here, but she's dropped that ball. That was, she's taken it and she's done her ankle, has she? She's just landed horribly and then dished it off, and then the carrier's just made a complete meal of it. She's staying on. Is Heo the fullback? She's going to replay here. Just, yeah, she's just landed awful, just awkwardly. And then Lillian Ralph just tripped over the air or something. I'm not sure what happened there, and she's fallen on the ground and grounded it. So this kick finds touch, and they're inside the last 2 minutes. Can the Raiders put some points on? Good first carry from the fullback, Doyle. Wants overrun from dummy half. Jamie Park says, no you don't. Sky King, the winger for the Raiders. Off a standing start. Barragood. Again, slow from the play of the ball. On the broadcast edge now. Thought about going back to the right. Good tackle. Lillian Ralph. Again, just hits the line at the same point again. Second run of the set from Doyle. 1 minute remaining. Here's the kick. Just goes, just shanked, well, not shanked it, just it will go dead. But just sort of half a dummy to her right and then kicked it to her left. But I don't think she had the comms right with her teammates because no one chased it. So inside the last 30 and change. Thought about going to the left, takes the tackle, past the 30. Stands in the tackle, referee says, how stripped? Did he say held first? He did. Throws it wide over the head of the first receiver and then crashes the first contact. Found half a gap, run past the halfway mark. Can she go all the way? Straight through the marker, straight through fullback. Takes two of them to get her down. They want to go quickly. Gun in the gun. She's going to have a run. And that will be all she wrote. So round 14 in the Tru-Flow Services Women's Premiership in the top end. The game goes the way of the form. It is the Sharks 12 points, defeating the Raiders 0 in what was a slightly warmer second half. Not just warm on the park, but warm in the top end too, as Axel said. 30 odd degrees up there today and a bit humid. So we'll just stay with us for a moment. We'll see if our comms are working. We might be able to have a chat downstairs. I'm not sure, but as mentioned, we were going to try and bring you some Gatley Shield while we wait for the Westpac Women's Premiership to get underway here in WA. But as Axel has informed us, that game has been forfeited. So we might bring you some. See what we can do. Maybe we can bring you some highlights or some general chit chat. Oh, there we go. It's Axe. You're on camera now, mate. Mate, you're. I'm glad there's no camera here in the studio because you're actually showing me up this with the shirt and tie. So how did you see that?
Yeah, look, once again, good evening, Dave. It's feeling a bit away from home up here in the balcony, but look, interesting game. Like it was a low-scoring game to start with. The Sharks really put the pedal down. They really jumped onto the try line early. I found that the Raiders had the opportunity there. They were really starting to let go around the fifth tackle and then the handover. Few penalties, few more than I would have liked to see out there, but I feel the Sharks just came out with a strong game plan and came out a little bit stronger than the Raiders, and that really showed not only in the first half, but then going back into the half-time address with the coaches, and they came out with that, probably to have a look at what worked well and what didn't work and just make them finer adjustments to take it out into the field to the second half. We saw that 12 points put down there from the Sharks, and that's where that came from. Well deserved, but look, the Raiders really, they didn't give up. We spoke to the captain at half-time, and she said they really need to put the boot in. We can see how close they got to the try line, but again, just losing that momentum around the fifth tackle really did affect some of the, I guess, the opportunities to score tonight.
Yeah, it was the second half. They seemed to actually have some real possession, especially in the 10, where they looked like they could have been dangerous, but just their structure, especially on that last, as you mentioned, Axe, too many balls run on the last and giving it up on a tackle. Jiminy, I think, she was caught 3 times with the ball on last tackle, and the structure, especially on that far edge, just seemed to be a bit lacking. So not a huge amount to do for the Sharks when it came to last line defence. I'm just seeing some of the highlights now. Jimmy again giving it up on last, but the Sharks just kind of had to do what they normally do. I thought it was just a genuine run out for them. They just had to play their own game. I did note that I thought the Raiders did a really good job on the winger, Jamie Park, and shut her down, and she looked like she wanted to break out a few times, but it looked like they'd done their homework well. Defensively, I thought they were good, just they lacked it in that last 5 or 10 offensively.
Absolutely, and I feel the culture in both of those sides here tonight are really strong. We see it a lot in the territory rugby league scene up here at NRL. I spoke to the brothers side not long ago, a few weeks ago, and one thing I really want to highlight, and I want to just appreciate here on behalf of our viewers, is the culture inside the clubs here at Territory Rugby League. They just get behind each other week in, week out, whether they go away with the win or unfortunately walk away with the loss. They go back stronger and they build that team culture. Like I mentioned before, unfortunately we're not going to see the Gatley Shield played tonight. The Northern Sharks unable to field the game tonight, but we'll look forward to the A-grade game. But again, I really just want to highlight the culture, and you can see it on and off the field here at Territory Rugby League.
Well, hopefully the Dabsco Premiership game is a good one, because it's not the first time that a Sharks team has unfortunately had to call the game off. So, mate, we're going to let you go at the top end, mate. Enjoy the hospitality, enjoy the Dabsco Premiership when it does come around. And I'm really, really looking forward to me and Donnie catching up with you and the rest of the team up there tomorrow for what is going to be an absolute cracking Dabsco Premiership game to round out Super Saturday, the Brothers and the Bears.
That is going to be a blockbuster of a clash. I'm going to come down early for that to get my prep done, meet with the teams. But Dave McRae, it's been a pleasure being on the broadcast tonight. From all our viewers, it's been great to have you tuning in. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. Thanks, Dave. I'll head down to the canteen, soak up some hospitality here at NRL NT, and I'm looking forward to tonight's A-grade clash.
No one does it better than the team up in the top end, led by Axe, mate. Enjoy the evening and the rugby league at TRL Stadium. It's goodbye from TRL Stadium right now. Don't go anywhere in NRL Pathways, because we're going to bring you the Westpac Women's Premiership up shortly. Here, wrapping it up in the Tru-Flow Premiership, it was the Sharks, 12 points, doing the number over the Raiders. We'll be back shortly. Ball's in. Going to spread it to that far edge there. You see South Dale Club Rouge in the background. That was a weird one. Lost it behind herself. Might have been a pass. Get the Dragons score first. They can do. What a great start. What a fantastic start. The referee likes it. And that was the best possible opening for the Dragons. Not even one tackle. Again, they're going this inside. Spins it wide to Sky Cash. Is she going to score? Yes, she is. She's a handful down that far edge, this close edge here. To that far edge, just tucks it between a carrier. Is that Jamie Park? Of course it's Jamie Park, because you can't miss her when she gets the ball in her hand. Because she likes to do a bit of that. Shark territory for quite some time, and again the Sharks have the ball on hand. I don't think the Dragons have completed a set. Holds that up, dishes off with a great dish. She wants to go, she's going to go all the way, not going to stop her. Watson Compton, she's going to add the pain. Go half the length, here she goes. Just holds it up, dishes off into the middle. Got Sky Cash to her left. Here's this good run here. She's been a handful, ducks inside, brought down by a great tackle. Missile who's been instrumental, straight from dummy half against Sky Cash. Can she go? She can. That's her second. Here's the kick. And went a bit early on that. We clacked at the back by Jamie Park. Now watch what she can do. Don't be surprised if she tries to go half the length of the field. Or the full length. Here she goes. She's great to watch. She's not going to do it, is she? I caught her out. She's going to make me look good. I don't have to. I don't have to do anything when Jamie Park has the ball in her hand, because she does the work for me. As soon as she got it, you knew she was going to do that.
One of the few players that they seem to have that's got a bit of speed.
Just before we kick off, we'll remind all of our supporters and fans that you must be behind the fence. All supporters behind the fence.
Diving over from dummy half, they get there. Well, it was just a pick and go set there, Dave.
Slow play the ball. Goes on to the left, on to her right. Got numbers there, down that edge. Spins it fast. Puts the afterburners on. Bashes through the second tackle. Still going. She is quick. Jamie Park is exceptionally quick. Still going. Still going. Still going. She's not going to score, is she? That's the try of the year. Jamie Park. The audacity to score that. 16. dragged almost the entire Bears squad with her, and she absolutely loves it, and so she should. She should clip this and play it on repeat for the rest of the year. Gets through this. Almost dragged down from the back. Pushes out of that one. Carried players with her. The Shetty couldn't get her. And Nelson, again, just had to watch another Sharky, this time in Jamie Park, go over the line.
Ball comes out the back, picked up by Brothers. A chest pass comes out wide and a chance to score in the corner. They'll go over. Penne scores for the Brothers and it's early points. Leotoa with the kick through. Summers. She's starring already. She's spinning towards the line. She wanted to reach out and plant it. Decides better of it. Trying to crash over now, and just a little tip on play, and Morgan Keats says thank you, goes over untouched. They come out now. Leotoa puts the kick through. Summers gets to it. She is everywhere, Jacinda Summers. She scores a try over on the right. She scores a try over on the left. She's busting through the middle. Everywhere you look, you see Jacinda Summers, and she's got a double. Leotoa, dummies, silky skills, gets the offload away, guess who it is?
Again, no way!
Summers, still going, Summers dives in the corner!
Someone sign her up!
Sign her up for NRLW!
Come on!
Get her a Perth Bears contract right now! Come towards the middle, they fire that one on the bounce, a perfect bounce, of course it is. They go out right to the wing, Nona steps in, suddenly she's got a double. The Brothers in a great pass, finds some room, comes back and goes through one. Wanted some contact there, Morgan Keats. She gets a hat-trick, the second player to have 3 tries next to her name.
I've got numbers here on the right. She decides to duck inside though. Don't know if that was the best option. She's dished off to her left. She's got space. This should be opening try of the game. It is. What are they going to do? They're going to go Sky. Loses the handle on that one. Cleaned up at the back. Does she have the toe to go all the way? I'm not sure she does. She's run down in the end. Great chase. Dummy half wasn't there. Managed to collect it though. She's dummy to her right. She did well. She's got numbers on the right. They can make this. She have the toe wrapped up excellently by Sky Cash. Left. I think that would have been closer for the Bears, but she wrapped her up, closed down that run. And is this here again? Look, breaks all the way through. She's only going to have the fullback to beat. This is Jamie Park. She's off. You won't catch her. She's running in the next week, and that's the second try of the night. Under the sticks. The big powerful number 2. She gets a big hug from her teammate.
Great run from the Terminator. Sarah O'Connor.
Oh, I didn't even pick that, don't you? Sarah O'Connor. Hope she scores a try.
The Sharks, they get numbers in the tackle. Slow play the ball. Plays it back to O'Connor. She has a go.
Oh, Sarah O'Connor.
Oh, yes, I called it. Get to the chopper.
Oh, yes. So the Bears can tackle hard. They can run down defensively when they need to. They've got to spread this half the gap. That's the danger there.
There is the siren. And the Sharks, they'll get their first 2 competition points of 2025 with a hard-fought and well-deserved 10-6 victory.
Good evening, one and all. Welcome on down to the Westpac Women's Premiership. Nick Neary, Donnie Bell in the box tonight. We're out at Ellenbrook's home oval, but tonight Joondalup Giants taking on the Fremantle Roosters. Donnie, been a couple of weeks for me and you to be up in the box together. You miss me a little bit.
I have, mate. I introduced myself to you when I saw you. I gave you a big hug. It was like a reunion, and it's great to be back together. Great to be able to call a game for you, and it's high drama, this game. I mean, we've had three different venues during the week for this game because of the enormous storm that's coming. It hasn't actually arrived yet, but in preparation, we've moved the game around. We've ended up at Charlotte's Vineyard as Fremantle Roosters get first use of the ball. And I think that's Foster with the first carry. It's a really strong carry up to the 40-metre line on play one. As the Roosters looking to tune up towards finals. And there's another very good carry. Now they're on the 40-metre line, but this time the Joondalup side are halfway. As the Roosters again through Foster. Podmore gets to dummy half. Straight through again. And will score. They cannot stop her.
Well, that's a tremendous way to start a game on a Friday night here. Fremantle Roosters, well, they just kept things direct and up the middle, Donnie. That's precaution all the way down the field by the Joondalup Giants, who just never really had the intent to defend, and well, it just opens up into a gap straight up the middle. Pretty inexcusable, if you ask me. 4-0 with a kick to come, and well, the rain, any conditions, any pitch, if that's the defence we're going to serve up tonight, you're not going to stop much.
No, absolutely not. We got Kearney Atwell on our score sheet as the 14, but I don't think that's Atwell.
So I was very hesitant to give a name there. I was looking up, down. Thought even for a second I had my teams on the opposite side of the paper to what they're meant to be, but it's definitely not Jana Thorpe. Very interesting start to this match. We'll update that one as it comes through. Very quick fire start here from the Fremantle Roosters. Tiana Graham with the kicking boots on this evening.
Well, for now, we'll call her Kiana Atwell, name private on the website as well if they have updated it. But fantastic 2 runs in that set of 6 from Atwell, and the second one unstoppable. Conversion attempt successful, 6-0.
Now, in my absence, Donnie, I've brought at least one piece of information back with me into the box tonight. Top 4, not top 3, as you and Mr. McRae have been championing so loudly.
Yeah, well, it's great to get that information. We have been saying that the Ellenbrook Rabbitohs straight through to the grand final, and that's not the case, as we found out during the week. So it's top 4 for the finals format. They'll play the same finals format as the men. So the Giants will play finals. And, there's a chance these two teams might face each other the first week of finals in an elimination battle.
Yeah, well, it's pretty close between 3rd and 4th at the moment. There's just a draw that we've got to work around for the Roosters, find out where the points tallies are going to land over the last couple of rounds. But Joondalup Giants, they certainly can work their way into a 3rd position with a good finish to the season. This is Joondalup defending a little bit better this time. Last tackle for the Roosters on their second set. Nice little kick through by Norton. Finds a bit of space in the back. Good tackle being applied out wide by maybe Grimes. Getting back just into the field of play. Referee's got some time off for an injury there.
Moika's slow to her feet after Cleaning up the little kick from Norton.
Inside groin,
Whoa,
maybe.
she's had a little bit of a wobble there as she's tried to stand up. That is not a good sign at all. So
it's interesting because I was going groin, maybe left leg somewhere, but
we'll see if we can pick up anything on the replay here. There's a late penalty, though, by the look of that.
it's probably where on landing lands on, I didn't get the number for Fremantle, but lands on the feet and the shins. An incidental one.
I don't know whether the referees had access to the bunker and the replay, but he is very late decided that there's a penalty there. Maybe he's had a chat with the touch judge. I'm not sure what's happened, but they've very late in the piece given a penalty to the Giants for a high shot.
Shouldn't slow them down out of their back half. One thing I haven't missed, Donnie, these Joondalup jerseys on a Friday night. This middle of winter sort of action makes it hard to get contrast on jersey numbers. Good work coming out in defence, though, Claudia Foster. Covers out the space well, and same by Graham here. Another good test of endurance tonight for the Fremantle Roosters defence. Plenty on the cards here for Joondalup on the bench. They'll be able to roll through all night. And they get their first completion of the evening. Oh, I thought that was fifth as well. Not to complete yet. Wiley, straight. Can't quite get through, so it's Topaz Jean Porter. We've got Wiley out on the right here in the 4. Central kick. 2 cover players there for the Fremantle Roosters. They'll allow it to bounce, but should be able to bounce Prac pretty well. Grimes will go up the right-hand side, but nice defence and a penalty there, Donnie.
Well, again, another high tackle penalty, this time going against the Giants. So the Roosters get the chance to kick out of their own end. The Giants sort of struggling to get out of their own territory in that set, despite the help upfield with the high tackle penalty. It'll be Graham to kick into touch. Finds the sideline. Roosters, they'll look to go on the attack as soon as they can get a football. They found one. I think they had to craft it in the lawn chairs there, but they've put one together. Now they take it forward through Marshall. Up over the 40-metre line. Podmore from dummy half. They look outside and inside and then just take it straight up to the halfway line. Smiler makes the tackle along with Parakura Shernak. Podmore goes to Foster. Foster has been dangerous with a couple of early carries. They make sure they wrap up the football. It's Porter over the top wrapping it up. It's Graham, goes right to the line, goes to Foster. Alicia Foster into the backfield. It's been Claudia causing the headaches. Alicia wants her go. They've got numbers to the left. They go that way. It goes with Graham. She holds it up. They get over the line. Referee says no. Well, Giants scrambled. I don't know how they did it. It was 4-on-2 down that side of the field, and they've bombed a certain try.
It's very interesting change in defence. Giants, they were just shifting, but it was awkwardly for a fair bit of that passage of play. Donnie, I mean, they got a chance to kick through early here. Don't know about the option. Norton's kick is just still sweeping around in goal. No one's onto it. Eventually maybe diving Keisha Marshall. And tries being awarded. I don't know. Very well done. That's probably the worst option you'll see all night. Beth Norton off a penalty, kicking on first in goal. And then just watch it go through a couple sets of hands here. Just awkward third, fourth bounce. Norton with another player just going down to ground. 10-0. Kick to come. Easy as that.
Well, they'll take him any way they can get him. But that was... You said not a great option from Beth Norton, but rolls it into the in goal, and it was like she had it on a remote control. She just steered it away from all of the Joondalup players in the backfield trying to clean it up. And there were two Roosters that basically fought over it at the end.
Yeah, the distance that's gone would be halfway across the road if it kept going straight. There's a decent bit of juice on it. Just turn right at the dead ball line, continue out till you find a Fremantle Roosters jersey.
Beth Norton was an expert at scaletrics back in the day.
It's a big word. Dominant start.
The kids won't even know what I'm talking about.
It's like a few young ones in here that have got no idea. 12-0, successful kick. Perfect sheet so far for the Roosters. Only giving away that one penalty off their first changeover. As we get another look at the try. Just, it's amazing how far laterally that's gone. It's about as long as my words get, laterally.
Well, I think it was Marshall and Mariah Bell fighting for the try in the end. I've given it to Marshall on my my score sheet. I don't know what the officials have got as a mistake. Mistake there from Henry. Knocked it on and then looked around for somebody else to blame.
Somehow we're already 10 minutes into this first half, so I wasn't thinking it was any sort of desperation times at all, but a really timely one to get one back. Advanced field position off the kickoff. Pretty good time to start thinking about one of your funnier options in the bag. Giants with about 15 metres to travel. Good little crash up in the centre of the field. Where do we play from here? Moeka wanted it right. Instead it goes left. Gilmore Spence crashes in the line. Stood up in the tackle strongly. They got 4 involved there just trying to slow it down. Didn't get the full result that they were after. Carney just gave a little offload for Moronga. Well, half calls for everyone just to tuck in a little bit closer. They want to run this flat. Wide ball. Moeka goes across the line. That's a good one out the back door. Chance over in the corner. Joondalup get their first back. A nice little reply early in the piece. Might be Lowndes.
It is Lowndes. That was brilliant shape here from the Joondalup Giants. The lead-up play, Lowndes just sweeping around the back. None of the defenders saw Lowndes coming. It's really good shape from the Joondalup Giants. About as good as we've seen from any team all year. And you know, a really well-worked try from a team. You know, from what we've seen from Joondalup this year, I don't think we've seen anything that good all season. That was really nicely done.
It just seemed like there was a bit more communication and planning to that setup. Yes, they only had to have 3 tackles from a set piece, but to think their way through the whole set and find it in the corner, and they still had options to come if that was stopped short. Nice little response there. Moeka with the kicking duties. Tricky one, but could be a virtue tonight if we can get this just back to a 6-point margin early. Certainly a decent enough range kick has brought this 26 metres out from the line.
It's a big kick, but it is definitely calm before the storm territory here in Western Australia at the moment. It strikes it pretty well. Don't think it's got the legs. It falls well short, and it's 12 points to 4. As we once again just see where Lowndes came from, just sweeping around. And well, I think the defence was more worried about the winger on the outside and didn't even see Lowndes coming. Points are plenty at the moment through the first 12 and a half minutes, 16 points.
And we're beating the clock. That's always a good sign.
Well, it's great for the neutrals when you can see plenty of points being scored.
Just like the kilometres getting racked up by Vintage Road hauling, the Ellenbrook Game Day sponsor as well there, Donny. Fremantle Roosters to restart again. Nice deep kickoff. Collected well. They run in hard. Contact from Foster. Just spills out the side a little bit. They're having a little bit of trouble getting this tackle completed. And they're falling all over each other, the Roosters, on the way back on defence. Gives an opportunity right through the middle. Solid carry.
Great first carry from Grace Matthew, who I'm not sure what her best position is, but just a remarkable rugby league player. Impossible to tackle at times. as it comes out to Lowndes again on the other side of the field this time, looking to slice through, causing headaches for the Roosters' defence. As Warren looks to the outside to Carney, takes it herself, stands in the tackle. Can't get the pass away. Parakuta Shernak goes to Gilmore Spence with the kick on last. Again, dropping into space. Bounces around Jenkins. She wants to kick it over the dead ball line. Has an air swing with the right. And then knocks it over with the left. It'll be a goal line dropout.
Gee, when the freshie happened, I thought there was going to be real danger. She just kept running past the footy dead in goal. I mean, here you're nervous. You're real nervous. But everything's gone wrong right about there. Goal line dropout. Needs something deep enough through the centre of the ground from Norton here. Sends it out to the right-hand side, left if you're a Giants fan. And they allow it to bounce twice. Eventually they can set up their set. About 15 from home, maybe a bit less. The marker puts a shove on while the roll of the ball's happening. I think they're all going to be early and offside anyway. High tackle. It's all there.
Yep, there's a whistle, and there's plenty of reasons to blow it.
Little fractious here. Smiler, Carney, I should say. First tackle, gets the offload. Not much happening. They have to go laterally, so this is probably a good option. Surrender underneath in front of the post. Deep runners, Topaz Jean Porter might want the relay out the back here. Thought it was going to go, went short option. Still short side. Topaz Jean Porter, early release. A chance for the wing, dragged over into touch. Needed just to control things a little bit better on the far side there. But a good tackle and a good defensive set by the Fremantle Roosters. They get out of trouble when they thought they were going to get done doubled.
Yeah, I think there was some frustration there from Wiley with Munro. She got the ball, and as soon as she got the ball, she had to get down low, but she stood upright, and it was just easy meat for the defence that was sliding across. There was a lot of numbers there for the Roosters. We have a look at the replay to... Well, there's the short pass in the play before. That was the one you thought was going out the back to Porter. And if they had gone on that play, I think they did have numbers. They've gone that side again the following play. You see where Munro gets it unmarked. If she gets down low, she's half a chance. But
just a bit behind. It's a tricky one to then go behind, square up, down and in.
Yeah.
A lot of angles.
There's a lot of twisting and moving that had to go on. But yeah, you're right. The fact that she had to reach behind her to take the pass from Wiley took that option away. And now a piggyback as well. So actually, it's a forward pass. It's not a penalty. It's a forward pass from dummy half from the Roosters. And it'll be a chance for the Giants to narrow this gap.
Gee, they really want this one to be narrowed down. This is the third attacking set now. I want to see Giants either score or get through at least 4 or 5 tackles before giving this back, though, because this is their third opportunity at the line.
It comes to Carney from the scrum win. She's got a couple of offloads away already. Stands in the tackle. Again, impossible to get to the ground. Gilmore Spence goes out to Mawiko, jumps at the defensive line. They grab hold of her and they say, don't do that. Throw her back on the ground. They work down the short side with Gilmore Spence. She gets collared. Stopped in her tracks. Not too many stopped Gilmore Spence that quickly. The pass back to Lowndes, who uses her feet to stop it, but still knocks it on. It's picked up by Bell. Referee's blown the whistle. That chance comes to nothing in the end for the Giants.
It's just a bit disappointing. They did have 3 cracks at it there. They could probably end up with a 4th if they find another penalty or knock on or forward pass through this passage, but just a little let off. Roosters let them back in for about a good 8 minutes there.
Yeah, just a poor pass from dummy half, and Lowndes, did the clever play, used the feet to try and stop it rather than using her hands, but then when she went to pick it up, knocked it on anyway. So it was well thought out, but didn't work out the way she wanted. As Norton gets ragdolled a little bit there by Thorpe. Now Porter gets in on that tackle on Graham. Tipped on from Turner Wallace. The Roosters, they're just looking for a completed set. Manning Daniel plays it back to Podmore. Again, they look to explode through the middle with Bell. He's been there and thereabouts all day. They get towards the back end of the set and they put on some shape of their own. Out to Norton. Looked outside, thought something opened in front of her. It closes very quickly. Podmore comes back. They look for the kick now from Graham. Graham looks to hit the belly of the ball, and again it'll be allowed to bounce. It's bouncing away from the Giants. It's bouncing away from everyone. The only one that can clean it up is the touch judge, and he does.
Yeah, but he evacuated the area. He didn't want to get a touch early there. Good completed set. Don't really know if that was the kick at the end of it all. Belly of the ball can be the correct call most of the time, though. Just, it's a very lateral bounce here at Ellenbrook tonight. They're just going sideways at the moment.
Yeah, nothing's running on. It's like the ground has got a slope on it.
You're the local?
No, not really. Well, I am the local, but it doesn't. It's a pretty even sort of ground.
Early on second.
I think Willagee might be our most slope-worthy ground.
Yeah,
at the ends, it slopes up a bit.
Lost carry. Backwards is adjudicated. Not looking all that convincing coming out of the back half again, Joondalup Giants. Left-hand side, they've got to find something. Go a little backdoor play. Lowndes gets around the first couple. Now just collared and shrugs free again. These are the metres they needed in the set. And that's the halfway line, so they can consolidate position and kick off one more. Who's going to set it up for them? 3-4 involved from Fremantle Roosters. And they've managed to get a net gain of about 45 metres this set. Got out of trouble. It was looking sticky for a moment. And they kick into space in the corner for Norton to clean up across the back. Oh, awkward. Really awkward.
Not cleaned up at all there by the Roosters. Knocked on in goal.
I think Hannah Comey.
Well, I tell you what, that. What a net result for the Joondalup Giants, because you called in the middle of that set. Absolutely spot on. They're going nowhere. They look awful. Nothing happening. They sweep out the back. No, you weren't. I mean, I'll put words in your mouth a little bit, but that was exactly the feeling of that set. Then it goes out to Sinead Lowndes, and her speed is causing all sorts of trouble both sides of the field. Wherever she shows up, she is causing problems for the Fremantle Roosters, and that got them out of trouble. Then a good kick from Gilmore Spence, and they get a repeat set. And here they go with Gilmore Spence. Double pumps, goes out wide, and then with the line wide open, the Giants put it down.
That's disappointing, to say the least. Big opportunity goes begging over on the far-hand side. Looks like we're coming back for a forward pass. That scrum's pretty central. Or am I just wrong?
Well, either way, it's going to be a Fremantle feed.
Another chance goes begging the Joondalup Giants to get closer and peg this margin back just a little bit. Still 4 points to 12, 22 minutes gone in the first half of this Westpac Women's Premiership game on a Friday night.
Well, you said it a couple of times, Nick. It feels like the Roosters want this one to be a bit closer. They are desperate to be involved in a tight contest because they keep giving the Giants chances.
It's good work.
Well, now the Roosters burst into the backfield and away they go. Swanell looks to swat away there from Miho. Now they come towards the middle. It's Norton. It was actually Kennedy Joe Solomon. Miho's the 19 for the Roosters. Now a double pump again from Turner Wallace. It hits the ground, picked up by Atwell. Atwell goes across, again bursting through tackles. The first try scorer, she's got tackle breaks galore in her stat sheet. We'll play it now back to Podmore. We'll go short side. Double pump again, this time from Jetta. They go wide to Jenkins, she puts it down.
Not quite a carbon copy, but close enough at either end, heading over to that far side corner. Some cold hands out on the wing. They might need to come in for a couple hit-ups, warm themselves up. It's 2 costly ones for either side. Roosters were looking good again, though. That line break, Donny, straight through. It's not the be-all and end-all part of the play. It's that they keep moving quickly through the set after that, making Joondalup reshuffle their defence. And well, unfortunately, no points scored again. They've pinned Joondalup Giants right back in their own half. And they'll pick and go from half on second. Smiler out to the left-hand side. Doesn't look overly enthused to have a carry just this early in the set, so they go right. And just again, it's taking the ball to come out before the players start running onto it. Makes it hard for Gilmore Spence and the other playmakers to really get involved. Wide ball out to the left-hand side. Got to find something through Lowndes again. 5th and last. Giants only at halfway. They go right up the hey diddle diddle again. Short bounce. It's going to be awkward. Lost forward off the hands of Lowndes. And Fremantle Roosters should just be able to surrender over this one.
I am loving the work of Sinead Lowndes. She's shown up on the right where she scored a try. She's shown up a couple of times making line breaks on the left, and there, straight through the middle, as you called it in running, to almost get that ball back as it sat up. But she's causing headaches for the Roosters in a lot of different ways.
Just again, it begs to get the first part of that set a little bit more well off. And then that line break, that half line break turns into a I'm gone for the corner for Sinead Lowndes. Get that defence just 20, 30 centimetres more separated than they currently are. And
I thought the touch judge quit there. He just threw his flag on the ground and... oh, but enough. Nah, it's too cold here. I'm going home. I don't get paid enough for this. They just lost a grip on it. And he's sticking to the task. Good on him. Podmore comes across. Antionevic bunts. Drops that one backwards, but it's picked up by the Giants. And it's all clean. Joondalup ball. Harry gets in the dummy half. They go a couple wide. The Roosters get numbers in there. Swannell with first contact. Let's see if they can sort out the early part of the set. It's been a better start to the set from the Giants. And then a little push from Antionevic bunts at marker gives away the really soft penalty.
And this is what's kept them in this with field position tonight. That's got to be number 4 or 5 so far. Just gift ones for Joondalup to march up the field. They go tap and go this time, Donny.
They take it a long way. I think the Fremantle Roosters, they were back about 15 or 20 metres.
It's a good option.
For some reason there. I don't think the Giants were ever looking for the sideline. And now, a half break trying to get through the tackle of Tiana Graham. Finds a front, quick play the ball. Wiley looks to take them on and chopped down there by Swannell. Beautiful tackle technique. So they come towards the middle with Warren. Antionevic bunts trying to make up for the penalty she gave away. Wraps up the ball. And throws a dangerous play to the ground. Goes out now with Lowndes. Lowndes trying to break through again on the left. They just hold on to her. They'll come back open side, and it's with Gilmore Spence rolling it in behind and picked up beautifully there by Atwell.
It was really clean hands at ground level. That was pretty nice little low grub up. Had a bit of pace to it. You weren't sure if it's going to kick up. Atwell does really well. Good first half from her. Beth Norton out of the back.
Looks like Atwell's going off for a breather as well. Well deserved. He's done some good things. Raced over to the sideline after the slips catch down around the ankles. As Foster takes that forward for the Roosters. Podmore, after the quick play the ball, beats the markers.
Yeah, they're tired here, the Giants. They need half time.
Well, they're not too far away from getting it. And again, plenty of time, no pressure on the kick. allowed to bounce. It sits around. Eventually picked up by Lowndes on the second bounce. Breaks the first tackle. Can't get away from Foster, though. Not many do. If the Giants can get one here in this last minute or so before half-time...
You can finish that if you want.
Well, I mean, it'd be huge for this contest, but going the other way, if the Roosters are able to score a try before half-time, then it could be a bit of a dagger.
These are the real coach killer ones. You know you're all tired. 8 points the margin at the moment. It certainly hurt more than a little bit to see this margin get to a 3 or 4 converted. Only going to have three tackles, I would say, here, though, Donnie. 30 seconds on our clock.
Yeah, we don't have the official clock, but on the clock on the scoreboard, we don't have long. So the siren could go at any minute, any moment. It's Podmore from dummy half. They work down the short side. Chanboon. Good tackle from Moeka, one-on-one. Now they come back for Foster. Foster working through the middle. Breaking through tackles. The siren goes. They make the tackle. No last play for Fremantle. Joondalup hold on, and we go to the sheds with the Roosters up 12-4, and a real contest is brewing here for this second 30.
Sure is, Donnie. We'll go straight into a short little break. We'll sum up the first half and what's to come in the second. This is the Westpac Women's Premiership for Vintage Road Hauling as well. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back. Second half just about to get underway. Fremantle Roosters in a good position, but certainly haven't been the cleanest all night tonight. We might have just lost vision. Donnie Bell, let's summarise that first half while we see what's happening here.
Yeah, I mean, the Fremantle Roosters, what a start it was. Kiana Atwell with a fantastic run to start the game. Two fantastic runs in that set of six, but the one to score the try, absolutely sensational, goes across. At that point, 2 minutes into the game, and then the Roosters not too long after, Keisha Marshall gets on this Beth Norton grubber, and I thought this is going to be 50-0. Mm-hmm. It's going to be horrible. It's not going to be great rugby league, but the Joondalup Giants worked their way back into the contest. They got a try, and we're ahead of the clock. 16 points, 12 minutes into the game. It looked like it was going to be a point a minute, but we didn't see another point for the rest of that half. It finished at 12-4 at the break. The Giants being given a lot of opportunities by the Fremantle Roosters.
Absolutely they were. They didn't take full advantage of them. This is back live. Managed to get our pictures back this evening. Good work to all the crew at LMSC.
Working incredibly hard they are to try and keep the pictures coming, but we have been warned we might lose vision at some stage in this second half, but we'll do our best to try and bring it all to you as the Giants work down the right-hand side with Solomon. Well, tangled with the sideline, and the Roosters, geez, they do a good job. They just hold her up, and carry her over the sideline. The touch judge raises the flag, and high fives all round.
They want to be pretty aggressive in these first couple of minutes. You don't want to start rolling a few errors around and giving Joondalup another sniff deep up the field to close this margin off. They want to get one or two more tries as quickly as they can, and that comes with field position, so they've got to go to length of the field here. First carry for Bell. Nice little flat one out from half. Spin underneath. Antonevic Bunce. Excuse me, that's Bell. Might have been Antonevic Bunce before. Foster. Just carrying the angle as usual before getting physical with every defender in space. 41 metres to the line. Outside ball goes over a few sets of hands. Grimes cleans it up, but it's gone forward at some point. Not completing the set, giving it back on the Joondalup 40. Call it 38. Chance to come back up the field once again. Very early doors, 2 minutes gone in this second half of the Westpac Women's Premiership.
Well, once again, the Roosters not completing a set, looking dangerous with it, but then they make the mistake, hand over possession 40 metres out from the Giants' line. It's not bad field position for a team to start with, as Grace Matthews, straight from the scrum win. Foster gets in to make sure that she's not busting tackles on this occasion. They look outside, inside. They look to go out and swatting away from one. Harrison goes with her, comes up with the ball, Harrison in the end. And now she's trying to stay in the field of play. She digs the heels in. Touch judge talking to the referee. I think she's gone into touch, and we've got a knock on both ways.
It was actually an offload from the original intercept. There was a real low ball off the deck that got cleaned up by the Roosters. Just have a look here on the sideline. No flag up there.
Well, I think she went out. The flag doesn't go up, which doesn't give the referee the signal. He was straight away on the comms, trying to explain what had happened before the referee had even stopped play. Eventually they come up with the right decision. Fremantle offside from the scrum win. Well, this method of the Roosters just inviting the Giants to attack their line, that continues. It's an interesting strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it works for them.
That's a callback. That's a callback. I think it is going to be a vintage movie month coming up soon. Happy Gilmore 2 out.
I was going to say, the kids go searching through Google to see what that reference is all about as well.
That's a good break through the line. This is the chance. Joondalup Giants get themselves through, fending off all the way. Fremantle Roosters, well, they're all looking at each other. There's a bit of victim blaming going around in the defence there. Said wasn't that the plan, to absorb as many tackles as possible? How did we end up like this?
Well, let's see again the great break, and I think that may be Shilapuki again, who did it last week, and we weren't able to pick up the jersey number. I think the same thing has happened for Shilapuki, the daughter of Anika Stevens, which we didn't know last week, but found out during the week.
Big news.
Well, it's fantastic to have the daughter of a legend of this competition, and is a real try scorer, tackle buster.
It's always good when you get to see a bit of lineage, knowing the same skill set as where they've come from. This one's going to go low left. 8 points to 12. Margin is back to 4 points, so Fremantle Roosters have been better on attack tonight, but it's the defensive errors that have let them down. This time, just a lapse in judgment. I don't know, there could be a game on here. Ever since those first 12 or 15 minutes, Fremantle Roosters haven't really had a big crack at the line ever since.
Well, it's 2 tries apiece. The only difference is goal kicking at the moment. And yeah, the Roosters, 2 tries inside the first 10 minutes, as you said. And it really has been the Giants have been the better team for the next 25. The Roosters trying to show their premiership credentials, trying to keep their chances of a top 2 chance alive. That double chance could be vital.
Yeah, I think they really would have to just start switching on here. You wouldn't want this team to let through another one in quick succession at all.
Take nothing away from the Giants. They've got some red hot players out there. And some good individual performers.
They're one of 2 teams to have ever lifted the cup.
Well, they're the defending champions, and they're well, we thought they were done. We didn't think they were going to play finals, but with the top 4 system, they will be playing finals, and they are still a chance of defending their crown, despite what's been a year to forget so far. But can they write a fairy tale in 2025? Harakura Shernak now to dummy half. Looks out to the right-hand side. Smiler takes it up hard. Gets a quick play the ball. Comes out to Pookie. Pookie holds it up. Short pass. And the Giants, they're once again right on the attack. Grace Matthew. Oh! Gets swallowed up there by Marshall. And slow to her feet.
Look, and we'll see how legal it is on the replay. And they were coming in with some good intentions, but just as the knees were lowered and came into contact, has slipped high, but probably hasn't been found to be a viciously high tackle. But I'd say that was the tackle that was needed. You needed a bit of impact there coming into 5th to just stop Joondalup from thinking they're going to score.
Keisha Marshall, just a big shot there. Just bent down, came up as she was driving through the legs. And Grace Matthew, diminutive, is she's bounced back to her feet. There's no penalty. It is going to be a play the ball. If they look at short side, well, great work from Marker. It does sit up. And they'll hand it over. And another Giants player staying down in Joe Solomon's. Timeout is called. Everything's all right. I thought maybe the touch judge might have had something extra there for the referee, but just concerns about the injured player who did get up. Went on with a tackle a bit too long there for the referee's liking. And the Roosters get a penalty, so they get a help out of their own end as the Giants try and muscle up.
I thought that was a good response by Joondalup, and yeah, probably a bit of carry-on. Certainly need to get out of their back half pretty soon here, the Fremantle Roosters.
Joondalup are turning up the heat, well and truly.
Yeah, one or two more, and I might be starting to believe it's not bad errors from Fremantle. It's good Joondalup Giants defence.
Well, I thought that was more of a penalty than the one they did get a penalty for.
Bit of craft sneaking into this one. Bell through the middle of the ground. Trying to fish a penalty every single tackle here. Foster, back door. Shooters come up a bit too far so they can release Keisha Marshall. No hole to present through. They're on the attack pretty sharply now, the Roosters. Foster gets awkward on the left leg now, wants an offload, gets it out. Held was called.
Held, yeah. Which we did hear through the effects mics.
Corner kick. Nice work by Graham. Finds a pocket. It might run out of time on the far side. Certainly have seen anything but a straight bounce this evening. One backwards and the rest have just kicked on sideways as far as possible.
We need the bumpers up here at Charlotte Vineyard Sports Pavilion tonight.
Actually, I played bowling during the week, Donnie. Big 170 out of the young man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with it.
Do you have the bumpers up?
No. This is regulation, adult bowling.
Oh, well done, mate.
It was on the third pint that I finally got loose.
Yeah, well, that's usually the way it works. It's usually somewhere between the second and third, and then it's all gone by the fourth. Yeah. No, never drink more than 4 pints. Surely.
4 3.5s. Cooper's Reds on a weird day. It's a good tackle here. Been a quiet night by the 6 for the Fremantle Roosters. Haven't had to be too involved so far, but happy to show off a bit of defensive prowess. The clearing kick will find its way over into touch. Either that or that man's 15 metres on the middle of the field.
Well, it's we've gone into an interesting holding period here, haven't we? It's a bit of an arm wrestle. Teams getting through their sets, slowing things down by finding the sideline.
Do we have a big finish brewing?
Well, there is that possibility. Who's going to fire the next shot? I think that will be all important. Feels nervous. It feels like we're on a precipice right now. And somebody's going to step off the edge. It's the Roosters trying to tip this game over right now. Chanburn gets the offload away. Great pass out to Grimes. Grimes with room in front of her. Comes back infield, beats one. Runs into the clutches of Earl Warren. And Warren tries to come up with a one-on-one strip but can't. Plays it back to Podmore. Podmore, they take it forward now with Miho. On tackle 5. Who's got the big last tackle option? It comes across to Graham. Graham goes to the line, holds it up. Dummy and go. They're going to run it on the last. They get the late offload. It comes back to Norton. Norton skips back off the right foot. And there's plenty of Giants there to wrap it up. And they hand it over on last.
It was a good ball outside by Graham, I thought. And I thought it was actually the right option to hold the ball through those two tacklers to begin with. Option to offload on the outside would eventually present, but I think there was a good chance that the winger would have said, I think I need to go out here, and the gap would have opened up. Not the worst 5th running set you've ever seen in your life. Still no points. Still got the lead by 4. Touchy really wants to talk way back in play here. Fremantle Roosters penalty.
Well, there's no signal as to what that is for. I can only assume that somebody has given the touch judge a gobful. Someone has got stuck into the touchy. and he's let the referee know, and he said, "Well, we're not copping that." There was no signal though. That he didn't give the signal
the
at all.
authoritative yap trap. Yeah.
So we're making assumptions that might be incorrect, but the Roosters with a great attacking opportunity to put some space between themselves and a very plucky Joondalup side. And they dive over from dummy half. Well, you talk about plucky. Mariah Bell, she almost plucked one early in the first half. She dives over, and the Giants caught asleep at marker.
I think it's probably just exactly what happens when you give away a silly penalty like that. And as we say, Donny, we're assuming, but just by the position on the field, it has to be some sort of foul play, sort of turnover penalty, because it doesn't make sense otherwise. And that's kind of what it leads to. It deflates the unit as a whole. A cheeky one through the middle. That's always when you're going to see a half score up the middle.
Again, it's a really strange moment, because if it is foul play, if it is chat, you'd expect the referee's going to call a player out and have a chat to them and tell them that it's unacceptable. Exactly. Explain what has happened, but no signal. Not a lot of anything there from the referee, but clearly on the instructions from the touch judge, a penalty goes to the Roosters, and they convert it with a very simple try from Bell.
Maybe it was really serious language, because the local authorities are just around the corner by the sound of it. Nice nudge. Perfect kicking tonight so far by the Roosters. 3 converted tries, 8 plays 18, 10 points the margin. That's now a tall order for the Joondalup Giants to come back from.
You see this try again. Just a few players left lying in the ruck and just unable to get to that A defender position. And it wasn't a quick enough reaction from the other Giants defenders.
Both markers went the wrong way. Can't both go the wrong way.
Yeah, and the player that would have plugged that hole was left lying in the ruck, and the other defender didn't slide across. The B defender, if you like, didn't slide across to plug that hole. And Bell, well, pretty crafty from her to notice that, recognise that, and won't score too many easier than that.
Going to have to be aware of it come finals time as well, though. We certainly know the Ellenbrook Rabbitohs and the Willagee Bears will go from half 2 metres out 4 or 5 times a weekend. And traditionally, yeah, Fremantle Roosters remember the last time I've seen them score from half 2 metres cheeky out. It's just traditionally more of a bash and crash and a kick. Right hand side, chance to go twice, but chooses against it. Antonevic bunts. Joondalup will need to put up a good fight in this last couple of tackles, otherwise it could get messy towards the end. Graham just held the ball up to the line, forced everyone to hold their runs, and it just makes things messy on the outside as an effect. Managed to stay inside the field of play. And a high cross kick. Falls into a good spot. No one touches it from either side. Absolutely uncontested. Penalty offside, I'm going to assume.
Yep, that's the exact call. Just in front of the kicker. And I've got to say, that's one thing that I haven't liked from Joondalup today, is that they have given Tiana Graham all the time in the world to kick, however she wants to kick. I don't know that Graham has used that time incredibly well tonight.
I think she has been a bit deep and a bit unselfish with what she's kicking.
But, yeah, she seems to have a lot of time. There's not a lot of pressure coming on the kicker. Which, well, I mean, they've got away with it a little bit tonight, I think, the Giants. But you do that against, a Kaylee Thompson.
She won't kick the ball.
Well, yeah, she'll run to the line and or kick into a corner or put it into a perfect spot for her chasers. And that's stripped out from the Roosters. That's a silly penalty, Antonevic bunts. Just ripping that out, 3 in the tackle. Back-to-back penalties, and gives the Giants a chance to once again close this margin and stay in the contest, as we see the very obvious penalty. Wanted to argue with the referee, I'm not sure what about. That one was about as obvious as it gets.
It's a good kick as well. Do whatever you want with this set of 6. Get the margin down from 10 as close as you can. Attacking the line first up. Now they've got to control things. Gilmore Spence just wants to sit in behind the ruck for the time being. Control the play from the quietest position of all. Wiley keeps feeding runners out to the right-hand side. Smiler to the line. It's going to be 2.5 out. A little bit of pace on this one, and it's lost forward. Pookie there. Just probably had her eyes forward in front of where the play was going to be, just a little bit early. Fremantle Roosters live to fight another day.
Yeah, not quite the precise pass that she was looking for as she ran onto the ball. A little bit behind her. Perhaps had a look up at the defence to try and change direction as she caught it as well. So a few things going through the mind. The Giants, well, that was an important attacking raid. Perhaps they needed to come up with points.
Got to do it in one of their next 2 sets, you would think, if there's any chance to go twice. You've got to convert at least 1. In fact, you have to convert 2 to win.
Now to Norton. Steps back into Warren. Gets away from Warren. Almost got away from Gilmore Spence as well. And now a penalty to the Roosters. Late in the count as well. Well, that was not what they were looking for at all. Offside. It's a silly one to give away. As fatigue starts to set in into the final 10 minutes of this game. And the Roosters, they'll have a chance to put this one to sleep. Jenkins goes to fetch the ball. Boone taps, goes off to Marshall, one of the try scorers. Breaks through the first attempted tackle. Smiler swings it around to the ground. Quick play the ball. Podmore looks out. Now it's with Turner Wallace. Now the ball comes out. It's with Jetta to Graham. Now hitting back against the grain. Manning Daniel plays the ball. They work the short side. Taking the line. On goes Graham. Well, she does it all herself. Just takes on the Giants. They hung back to see what she was going to do in a ball playing capacity. They weren't worried about the ball running. And the Roosters will win this game on the back of a very good try from their halfback, Tiana Graham.
And it's just good, consistent running. Again, we get late to these stages of the half, and I think the Joondalup Giants just don't have that full 60 in them at the moment. Just a little bit tired as this season's gone on, not getting fitter, getting a bit sore as the weeks go by the looks of things, because they're just not rolling up with the punches as they were at the start of each set near the start of the half. Good by the Roosters, though. Stuck onto the task all night. I think if you can get that error rate down, we're looking at a tremendously different scoreline.
Well, I think they're a very classy. They're a classy team. They've got a lot of class through their squad. It's a well balanced lineup. As the first missed conversion from Graham has had a great night with the boot. Someone waved away 22 points to 8, and we've got just on 7 minutes to go. But yeah, they've got enough class in this team to challenge the Willagee Bears and the Ellenbrook Rabbitohs in this competition. But they haven't really put it together completely here tonight, but there's been glimpses throughout the evening. If they can put it all together, they can beat anyone.
Be interesting to see the last couple of weeks of this competition, how it all rolls out, how Fremantle Roosters. This outfit looks impressive, but I don't know how it's going to stack up against the top two with just that little bit of ill discipline. They'll have to be better with ball in hand.
Well, they've got the Bears next week. I think that's a game to look forward to. Might be a bit of a preview of a preliminary final, perhaps. Although the Bears will be hoping that they can go straight through to a grand final, but we'll see how that pans out as the season progresses. We're getting right towards the business end. There's Claudia Foster getting towards the business end of this contest as well. Short ball now to Alicia Foster. She's been a handful. And some of her involvements have been really good. Podmore goes out the back. And again, Graham raking that one across field. Jenkins chasing through. It's taken well, though, by the Giants. Look to get out of dummy half. We're struggling to get a few players back on side here, Joondalup. Looks like they've got everyone ready now. Matthew out of dummy half, busts through the first tackle. Dragged down by the second. We'll get a quick play the ball. Back to Gilmore Spence. Now to Warren. Steps and straightens. Into Marshall. Now Gilmore Spence. A hop and a skip in the jump. And again, wanted to play it one rotation quicker than she was allowed to. Pookie puts the kick up. Also plenty of time, and it's taken nicely at the back by the Roosters. It's with Harrison. We see both teams getting through sets. The back end of this one. Norton.
Kind of feels like we might arm wrestle this one out from here. That little bit of response from Joondalup. Now there's your error. There's your error.
Well, that's one thing that the Giants have done fairly well tonight, is they have completed their sets and worked for the Roosters' mistake. And the Roosters, they've given them plenty. Mm-hmm. They've given them plenty of mistakes. They've given them opportunities. The Giants perhaps haven't taken enough of them to be a bit closer in this game. But they've done some simple things well.
Love one here if you're Joondalup. Just to get the Roosters fans checking the scoreboard and the clock to go, can they? Can they? Maybe not. Gilmore Spence. Wide ball. Good little dart through the line. Going to fall 5 metres short. Maybe 4. No real short side option. So they have to go right-hand side for Gilmore Spence again. Everyone wrapping up. In fact, the ball went to Ellie Warren. Looked down at my paper for one moment, then it was arms everywhere. Penalty Giants, they can tap and go. Just have a quick little one underneath. Moika has a dart at the line. Good defence. Feeling it at half there. Foxtrot, switch ball. Under 3 minutes to play now. Switch in. Nice work for Carney. Tries to bustle over the line. Only a metre. Now this time we go left. Goes at the toes of Gilmore Spence and can't do anything with that. Turns around and just walks away in small amount of distaste.
Well, the head in the hands from Grace Matthews. She was looking right, trying to trick the defence. Goes left, and the pass not quite good enough. Gilmore Spence down around the shins. Couldn't quite pick it up, knocks it on. And another chance goes begging for Joondalup. And those little bits of polish, they can put that on over the next few weeks. They are going to play finals. And again, we've talked about the talent that the Roosters have got. The Giants, there's enough skill in this team to think that they could be a worry to any of the teams any of the other teams in finals if they get some momentum going.
I think all season it has been just a bit of cloudy fog around the Joondalup camp. Not inherently a change in list and a change of motive. I think they just have never really hit the straps. You're not wrong. They get into finals and have one good game, all of a sudden, Champs on again.
Well, you just kind of feel with Joondalup. The few times I've seen them, it's like it's going to click. It's going to click, and it just hasn't yet. And maybe it's not going to, but if it does, I think there'll be a few teams that'll be a little bit worried.
There's certainly no rebuild on the card at clubs or anything like that at all. Nice use of the feet. Across the goal line, just well stopped and well chased up in the end by Marshall. Laid the tackle. Was the Joondalup to play this from virtually the goal line. 30 seconds to go on our clock. 22-8 at the moment. The Roosters have had a good night. It's about the only talking point that can really come out of it, which is they just need to clean that up coming out of their back half. Too many turnovers tonight, no matter how good the defence was at causing them. Too many to let slip in a big dance. Give up turnovers like that and the crowd gets against you, you're going to get scored on pretty quickly. Penalty back from the last tackle. The siren should sound any second now, and the Fremantle Roosters will go on to win the game. 22 points to 8. They just need to do anything with this ball now, Joondalup. Is he going to make him play it?
Kick it into touch. They're gonna have one play and one shot.
Oh, they put some extra yards on it. Oh, I thought the umpire was just going to march him a bit just to make it interesting.
Well, they've got to come up with one more tackle here, the Fremantle Roosters, and they're dragging it out.
All yours, Donny.
They're going to put the kick through. Though that's a bit of a nothing kick. It bounces around, though. Norton's going to go back and clean it up, and she'll boot that one into touch, and that's... well, that was worth it. That was worth it.
We all learnt a lot from that last tackle. That's for sure. The Westpac Women's Premiership, Fremantle Roosters 22-8. A good victory. How many rounds left now, Tony? How many we got?
There's two games to go after this. Obviously, we've got the Ellenbrook Rabbitohs and the Kalamunda Bulldogs coming up at Charlotte's Vineyard after this one, so they'll be up next. But 2 games left for these two teams, although I think the Roosters have got a bye. So
whatever it is, it's a pretty pointy end of the season. Couple of rounds left, then we head into finals. These are the 2 teams that will probably be holding those 3rd and 4th spot on the ladder. And then it is the Willagee Bears and the Ellenbrook Rabbitohs up top fighting for that top spot. But it's all going to come down to those elimination finals in the first week. I hope you've enjoyed the action tonight. This has been the Westpac Women's Premiership brought to you by LMSC, and we will catch you all next week.